I can literally see a fucking rainbow from where I'm at. I don't know if you can see it. How do you see? I don't know if you can see it, but it's so pretty. And it wasn't really even raining or anything, but hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can see me. This is gonna be bothering me the whole time as I'm talking because it just keeps falling in my bra's like doing some weird shit. But anyway, hello. Welcome to Moreniké Speaks. This is episode 3. So hopefully you guys caught episode 1, which was the introduction, and then I'm not gonna be doing this like every single time, but just because these are the first few videos, I want you guys to just kind of get like a basis awareness of like, what Moreniké Speaks is all about and like what I'm going to be talking about and the different things that I'm going to be expressing and shit like that. So definitely check out the introduction. And then I did do like almost an hour-long video over just an introduction to mental awareness and mental health, because I'm going to continuously always be talking about that, because that's something that's just like what we're really kind of going through as a collective. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's a detriment to us as a whole and us individually, because us individually affect us as a whole. So essentially, I'm going to be continuously talking about mental health, but that was kind of like the first introduction of just, just a couple of feelings towards the topic, and also what I've like been through in certain spaces. And so I recommend you watch that video because it's really good. I'm grateful to kind of believe that I feel like my higher self, speaks in a space where my lower self listens, you know what I mean? So a lot of times the things that I say when I feel like God is like speaking through me, I like go back and listen to it, I get, goosebumps over my own like words, even though I spoke them. It's just, I'm just very present in my reality and present in this experience. So everything means everything to me, if that makes sense. But today, I kind of want to talk about friendship and connections, and like how some certain connections and friendships have affected me, essentially. I don't want to make it a really, really long video because I'm one that can just fucking talk, but I have to be more aware of my own, like for personal reasons, like my space and shit. Like on my phone, I can't, it's a lot having longer videos. Not saying that I'm gonna just not have longer videos, but I'm just gonna try to be short. And the reason why I feel like this is something always to talk about is because sometimes when I express things in a story form or story matter, I think people can, it's almost like when you're watching a movie, essentially. Like you as an individual can determine what character you align yourself with. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody tells a story, it's like, which person do you relate to the most? And that's why I'm going to try to speak from an unbiased place. Yes, I do want to be able to express myself and how I feel, and I'm going to express in the ways that I think and feel pertaining to things. But I also, this was, like I said, it's an open channel for feedback. Like somebody may resonate with the other person, but like I said, I think it's important to just talk about certain things and experiences without not meaning any disrespect to anybody, but just a ode to yourself, essentially. This is my own therapy, you dig? And I want to be able to express myself in certain ways so that I can maybe get feedback or just allow myself to understand the certain experiences that I've been through and shit like that. You feel me? So I just also feel like there's so many people that they don't really know how they come across, essentially, because nobody tells them, and not necessarily because you'll have people who are told about themselves and things like that, but like not to a degree to where it's like somebody who truly cares for them you know what I mean, in a space where they're not really used to hearing that type of energy from that person, if that makes sense. So it makes it, I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So like, you know, when you feel like you're a beautiful person to somebody, you don't expect them to feel types of ways, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't expect them to feel types of ways because you think that you're being a certain way towards the individual. But then, you know, you're not aware sometimes. Like, we all move in certain spaces. As I speak, I think of myself as well, you know, because there are times where I'm not really present. I'm like, you know, like, I just went through a certain experience, you know, with a friend of mine who felt kind of like neglected by me, you know what I'm saying? Like, neglected. And I'm pretty sure there's another individual that I'm thinking about literally as I say this, who kind of feels neglected by me. And it was none of my intention for her to feel that way, you know what I'm saying? Like, and whatsoever, you feel me? Like, I've just been in my own spaces where I go through my experiences, and I've just been going through a lot, and but I still try to manage, you know what I mean? As a creative, you know, as an artist, you know, like, I'm always having to continuously, and not having to, I want to, it's something that helps me as I ease my life, as I ease my way through everything else, you know, being able to create and just control my own artistic expression helps me, you know, and adds to the joy that I feel, you know, that in life, whatever. So, but as an artist, what I was trying to say was that, you know, we have to still maintain a certain level of like engagement within our platforms, you feel me? So, you know, this person, basically, she's feeling neglected by me, and I'm still, showcasing artwork and, you know, trying to get engagement with my content and different things like that. And she's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why am I receiving all of this, like, you know, shit? And I haven't even really talked to you as an individual, you know? And you see how that can kind of come across as me not treating her in the way that she deserves. And that was never my intention. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in spaces where me and you talking about everything that I've missed out on saying to you, I guess I get overwhelmed, you know what I mean? And so it's just all about finding balance, you know, because obviously I made her feel a type of way that I never intended, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, basically, there's so many different ways about us that, you know, we may act in, or there's so many different, you know, things that we may do that we're unaware of how it affects the people that we love, you feel me? Even the smallest things, you dig? So it's like, you know, it's communication, and I'm grateful that her and I have been able to communicate and talk about that situation and come to understanding and really see eye to eye with one another, and her understand, you know, like, it was never, I'm so sorry that you had to feel that way, you know what I mean? Because that was never my intention, you know what I mean? And, you know, she felt her way, and I'm also sorry that, you know, I made you feel that way, and you know what I mean? So it's just, you know, like, real love is real love, and it's so important, you know? So it's also unfortunate when you realize, like, the love that you have for people, it's not the same. And that's something that I'm like continuously like learning and growing from. Like, it's crazy because I still get burned sometimes at this big age, you dig? Like, at this, you know, all-seeing age, you feel me? It's crazy. But, you know, like I said, I'm a forever student. If you watch my past videos, that's what I say, you know, continue with this journey with me, you feel me? Because it's like, how can I still be at this age experiencing these experiences that I have with women, you know? And there's a lot of experiences that I want to touch on, but I want to speak on a couple that just was like, wow, like, this is my reality within my heart, you feel me? And how my heart has been played. But and I want to know, like, what do you guys feel of these individuals? Like, you know, or am I just totally in those spaces, not able to feel the ways that I feel, you feel me? After I explain the story, you know? And I'm gonna try to like condense, because If you, like I said, I'm gonna keep referencing my other videos because they are key to me not having to continuously repeat myself. I really don't like to have to, but if you, but essentially, let me not say that because I don't want to give anybody the impression that I'm not here to just completely, be aware of everything that I'm saying and anybody who has any questions or anything like that, but I have ADHD and I talk in tangents and I can take forever in explaining certain stories and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to be as condensed as possible, essentially. But okay, so this is going to be a little bit intertwined. Actually, it's going to be the same people that I mentioned in a previous video. That's so funny. Watch my last video though, for real, you should. Okay, so I want to talk about my relationship with I'm gonna call her Star, and my relationship with Mustard. Okay, so I actually met Star and Mustard at the same time. That was my first time ever seeing them, and like I said, I'm going to try to be as quick as possible and condense things. So hopefully I don't skip the story, but I want to, express the whole experience that I've had with these two individuals and how it's affected me and where we're at now and how I'm just like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, wow, life is crazy, and if you guys know women like this or, experiences or women like me or whatever the fuck, I just want to express and be heard essentially. But anyway, so yeah, I met both of these individuals at a New Year's Eve party at, I don't know, someplace, but this was literally my first time interacting with a lot of people here in Tampa. I met a beautiful soul, and from meeting him, he kind of was the one who started to connect me with all of these different individuals. He would take me to different places, or essentially tell me to come out to different places, and it's just he's amazing. I just love him so much, I'm grateful for how everything aligns. But so anyway, we went this one night to this one party, and I was having a good time. I actually saw Mustard, but this is at this point, she wasn't as significant. She was very one of just a passing by individual, essentially. But me reflecting back on wow, that was actually the first time I remember meeting you, you know what I mean, was that night. So it was very passing by, but we met, I'm just in admiration of each other's outfits. That's the first thing that I noticed about Mustard, is her style was just so impeccable. I fucking love her style. It's reminds me a lot of me and the way that I express myself, and just, I just love fashion bitches. I love girls who know how to dress and you dig. Anyway, I'm annoying. But yeah, so I love girls that know how to dress and shit. So that was the first thing that I saw about her. I was yeah, we, exchange just, highs and things like that. So yeah, now this was a New Year's Eve party or whatever. Or yeah, something like that. And, okay, because I'm sorry, I'm having a moment, because when the first time we really actually connected was actually at a New Year's Eve party, but I don't think it was a year later. So I don't know about the times or anything. So I'm not gonna let that's because that's gonna fucking confuse me, but whatever. But I think this is 2020. Yeah, this was, so going into 2021. Yeah. So yeah. Because I met old dude in December 2020, so this would be January. Okay, bet. Okay, so I'm following. Okay, so yeah, my mind be a lot. So my mind be a lot. Okay, but yeah, so we met, and that was very passing. But then I had a good time at the party. I went to the car because I get social anxiety. So I have huge social anxiety. I've always had it, but for some reason it didn't really affect me when I was younger, because I think I was very naive to a lot. I think the more that my senses have been heightened, so have been like my other senses, you know what I mean? Like the senses that pick up on false energies and bad auras and just, you know, you just being on alert alert mode because you don't want to you're just not aware of how somebody's going to move within, because everybody's masking, you feel me? And I want to explain that in another video because, like I said, I'll get off the topic. But anyway, I struggle with social anxiety, so when I'm at an event, sometimes I have to like just get out for a second just to like collect myself and, you know, whatever. So I was coming out, and I think it was kind of more so towards the end anyway, but I was coming out, and this girl, like, who was parked right next to me, she was like, hey, I like your, and she said something to me in the party too. She said something like, I like your look or whatever, or something like that. And so then the car, she was asking me where I got my wig from. And I was like, oh girl, yeah, no, this is one of these $20 basic ass wigs. This is before I like come out here and I was having some struggles with certain shit and da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like putting on anything type shit. I still do, you know, I make it work with I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. Okay. But, I love myself. Sorry, we're best friends. Anyway, but yeah. So she was like, "Where do you get your wig from?" Blah blah. We like, you know. So I ended up literally getting in the fucking car with her, and we ended up talking. Like, and she told me she's an artist. She expressed to me that she is a fucking Cancer. You know, I'm not a crazy astrology head, but see, I'm gonna go into tangents because I think of astrology in a deeper spaces, like the elements, you know what I mean? You know, like water and what water brings. So your emotional being, da da da, because you're very da da da. I'm not gonna go into that anyway. I just appreciate astrology for what it is, essentially, and whatever. So, you know, that was like big to me, because what's really crazy is not only is she a Cancer, she was born on the same day of my ex-boyfriend, and me and my ex-boyfriend were like just so in love and so passionate, and I still love that man, you know. I don't have romantic feelings for him or anything like that, but we are most definitely family, you dig? Like, definitely family. So it's like, anyway, I think of the universe and all its parts, you know what I mean? Like, everything means something to me, so that's why I'm mentioning that. So it's just interesting to me, and so that kind of helped me allow myself to form a connection, because like I was saying, like, I'm a little bit wary about everybody because of all the shit that we all kind of like do, you know, to maintain life and how to, you know what I mean? So I'm wary about becoming like cool with people and da da da, but we really hit it off very, very well. And, you know, she also expressed to me, you know, that she deals with a lot of sadness, you know what I'm saying? And that was like crazy because I relate to that, you know what I mean? So also, if you see me move my back and stuff like that, it's just because I have like back issues. I really have like scoliosis, to be honest, and I need to get that shit checked out. I mean, I've gotten it checked out, but I'm in the process of getting it, you know. It takes time, like aligning the spine takes time, so I have to like go see, I have appointments and shit. So how am I explaining my whole life? It's okay. I think expression is important. Transparency is important. But yeah, so basically, yeah, we hit it off, and she was expressing to me about her sadness and the different things that she feels, and, you know, like she deals with that, and she was telling me that, you know, she's dealt with a lot within her peers and her different experiences. So we just really, really connected, and it's crazy because as I got to know her and got closer to her, I realized that the same kind of set of situations that she experienced, I experienced within my own set of individuals, you know what I mean? Like, kind of this person felt basically outcasted in a sense, you know, or blacklisted within her own community and the Tampa community and shit like that, because of just different actions that have transpired, you know what I mean? And just so many different things. Of course, we're not going to go into it, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to go into her experience and stuff like that. I will probably go into mine, essentially. But, you know, I was just looking at the universe and trying to see, you know, why, you know, God aligns me with certain people. And, you know, I feel like we are all reflections. So I also try to learn from myself, like, what have I been in my life, you know, and how does this relate to this individual? That's how I literally go through life, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I have a hard time with discernment too, though, because I always see everybody as me. Sorry, sometimes when they speak through me, I get like, I gotta calm down, because it's like this feeling that rises. I get really hot and shit. It's like a lot. But I know, I told you, listen, if you follow my channel, I did say that in the introduction, like a lot of things that I may talk about may seem crazy or abnormal or whatever the fuck, but this is my journey, and you're here because you're interested in it. Some of you, like I said, are here because you just want your nosy or whatever, but like, you know, just be here with me in every step of the way, and hopefully you relate in whatever spaces you're in. So, but yeah, so I just, I kind of like reflect on our union and how we align to each other, and like how we connect in certain things and stuff like that. Now, going into the specifics of our relationship, when I first met her, you know, there were a little bit of things that she used to like rub me the wrong way, you know, just small little things, like, you know, I would come over, but then I also, like I said, I try not to judge anybody, because I know everybody's fickle and they're in their own ways and stuff like that. There were just a couple of things that, you know, she would do, and I always just kind of like, I'm just overly present and so observant that I just peep everything. But just little things that she would do, you know, like, you know, when I first met her, she used to live in this like little room that she was like paying for, essentially, and it was very cute and chic, and she set it up in her own little space and everything. I loved it. And I used to live in like a room too, kind of similar, but I had her own bathroom, just kind of like a little I forgot what they're called, I don't know, but it was very cute. But she would not want me to sit on the bed, which was like, every time I would come to her house, I could never sit on the bed, which, you know, some people may be like just weird about that, like, I don't want, because you have your clothes on or whatever, but it would be like we would both come, you know, but then sometimes I'll be able to sit on the bed. It was just very weird, like, and what I used to think about was, I feel like certain people do things because they like to have a sense of control, you know what I mean? And that is what the vibe that I received from her. There was another time where I basically I would come out and support her, you know, like a lot of times to, like, she's an artist, and she's I believe she's very talented, and, you know, she would do performances and stuff like that when I come out with her. And there were times when we would be around other individuals where she would have more of a gusto in it, like a, that's not the term. She would just have like this energy about her that kind of was a little bit like, she would be a little bit more, she kind of was a bit belittling a little bit, you know. See, I'm realizing this is going to take a long time to express, and I don't know if I want to go about this, because there's so many different things that I want to I'm like literally talking about the entirety of the relationship, and there's a lot of different things, but let me see how quick I can condense. So if you're with me, you're with me, you feel me? So, you know, that was just in the beginning. And, you know, when you receive red flags about certain individuals, but you kind of like, the reasons why I used to look past it was because I was learning. I was trying to learn to see about myself, you know. I wanted to not like give her the benefit of the doubt about things, because I didn't want to judge her, because I'm assuming that, you know, these small things about her are not the truth in her reality, you know what I mean? It just may be a way that she's acting, essentially, you feel me, and things like that. But, you know, you're taught initially, you know. And also, disclosure, there was people, because like I said, going back to her being outcasted or blacklisted, there was a lot of people and peers that I was starting to get close to, who literally was telling me, like, you shouldn't get close to this girl, da 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 da, you know, you'll get burned, so such and forth. But I feel like people could say that about me, you know what I mean? Just because I'm a very emotional individual and I'm very expressive and I'm very transparent. And I feel like that is what I was thinking what was going on. And that's why she's judged for that. So I could not judge her, you know what I mean? And you know, I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Let me have my own experience with her. You know, of course, I respect everybody's opinions or whatever, but I'm not going to not be friends with somebody because some other people are telling me not to, essentially. But, you know, people who, they're not trying to like be negative sometimes, but you just never know, you know, you just never know. Because, you know, lo and behold, I did go through this like horrible experiences with this person, and it's just crazy, you know, because I was warned, but I also wanted to have my own experience because I loved her for who she was in my life, you feel me? But so I was warned. And funny thing is, Mustard and Star, Mustard is another female that I'm kind of it's gonna be mostly about Star because, you know, I don't want to make it super long. But, you know, she was actually one of the girls that told me something essentially pertaining to Star. There was a time, because when I first came to Tampa, I was only kind of going out with Star or Mustard, and there were times we would go out together, you know, because I didn't really know anybody too much, you know. So really, to be honest, when I started to meet Mustard, we would go out all the time. I mean, I used to sleep in this girl's bed, you know. We would like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would just be like going out to like every event together when I first moved here. So this is after I met her. But anyway, back regarding Star, there was a time where Mustard and I went out and we met these other girls, which I have to explain a certain situation because that's just so wild to me. Like, I just can't believe, like, that's just really crazy. But anyway, that's another time. But anyway, we met these girls who I thought I was going to be really cool with, but whatever. And then I started to chat with them because we were in spaces where we were about to like really start getting to know each other and da 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 da. And then I included Star in the chat because Star is somebody that has been my friend. So, you know, it's always when I have a friend, it's going to be us included in everything. There's no way I'm going to exclude her. Now, mind you, Star and Mustard have been friends. They were friends prior to me ever coming into this Tampa scene. You feel me? They've been friends for years, actually. Like, you know, you'll see fucking Mustard in Star's videos. You know, like I said, Star's a artist. You feel me? Like, you'll see her in her videos, and they just, you know, they've been friends. So then I include this chat, and then, you know, Mustard messages me outside the chat, and she's like, hey, so like I just want to let you know, like, there's certain things that you can't like invite Star to, like, you can't do certain things, like, because blah 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 blah, like, you know, it would just be best to kind of keep certain people like, just being very, like, I don't know, to me that was very mean girl, weird girl energy. But at the time, you know, what does it mean for me for not saying that? You know, I feel like I told Star this, but it didn't really reference until later, because I didn't want to be messy, and I didn't want to come into, because of all the things I've been through with my own different friend groups back in, you know, Atlanta and Gwinnett and things like that. Like, I didn't want to come into these spaces and try to be messy. So she brought that to me. I'm just like, what? That's your friend. Why would you say that? You know what I mean? But obviously I've been hearing certain things, whatever, like, you know, but she's saying, but to me, it wasn't even more so like how other people were saying, like, you got to be careful, like, you're going to get burned, da 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 da, like, you know, watch out for yourself. She was more saying, like, it felt more like mean girlish, like don't invite her to certain things, like, you know, like exclude her because she's, you know what I mean? It just felt like weird, you dig? So I'm like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I'm just, you know, this is just a chat for us all or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then that just, I kind of let that energy die down or whatever. So just to give you a kind of basis of the energy that Mustard is about, you dig? Like, she's very much, I don't know. It's like you would think that because she's very fashionable and like cool and chill and like she's into like several different kind of like music and things like that, that she would be super like just chill, but there's a meanness about her. And I don't know if it was just because of me, because of this, what I realized, and I say this with all the most like humility, is that women have a sense of intimidation. Man, when I tell you the things that I've been through, when my heart meant nothing more than just, wow, I'm in love with you, it's been received like, or like, you know, it's crazy. It's just really crazy. I'm not going to be like victim, because I know there are things about myself that could like, you know, people just because I have like, you know, the way that I speak about myself essentially, you know what I mean? And different things. And, also people judging me off of past mistakes or things that they hear, which is unfortunate. But anyway, let me not get off topic, but you know, I just, you know, Mustard is just weird in certain spaces, and I'll get into that another time. But I just wanted to, you know, give you a little insight into how we kind of like that connection was or whatever. You feel me? So yeah, you know, me and Star, you know, I enjoy our friendship and I enjoy what I get to experience with her. But then I'm starting to realize there are like little things I don't fuck with, low key. You know, us being artists. You know, I realize now, and this is me now realizing about the whole calculation thing, which I was stating in the last video, that everything's so calculated that people don't even think about their friends. They don't even think about, like, you know, they just think about what to do in a space to get me to a higher level without, you know, like, what happened to creating just because both of us are fucking dope and talented, we should just create. You know, this girl literally would say, like, you know, because I didn't put out any music yet, and I haven't really established myself as a musician. You know what I mean? I would post my little things and snippets here on Instagram and different in my social media, but like I didn't have any music out until last year. So you know, she's established herself more as like a musician by, you know, because she's been, you know, working at this, you know, for some time. So she used to express to me that. Because I would feel like I would want to just create, you know what I'm saying? Just to, you know, have fun and stuff like that. And she felt like she didn't want to put me on any music because I haven't established myself as an artist yet. But to me, I don't know, like at first, of course, I'm like, you know, I get that. But then I'm also like, that's very weird because like, I'm still talented, you dig? I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, and then I find out, you know, people move in certain ways because they don't want you to like upstage them or, you know, certain spaces. But I wasn't thinking in that, you know, I wasn't thinking like that because, you know, when you meet somebody, and this is one of my problems, I'm so gullible and naive at times because it's like a lot of people think I'm so narcissistic because of the way that I speak about myself and stuff like that. But my narcissism comes from my awareness of the all, if that makes sense. So it's like, sorry, I'm crazy, but it's like, that's why I feel the ways that I feel, and I have a hard time with discernment, things like that, because I always give people the benefit of the doubt and da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like, okay, I get that, but I'm also like, it's still weird because she would even say like, you know, I'll catch her in speaking when we'll talk about things. She'll say like, yeah, I wanted such and such on my song because I know that she has a following or whatever, like, you know, and this is how I'm starting to, it's starting to get, because as you grow, as you experience, you're learning, and that's how everybody should look at everything. Like, read the fucking Alchemist. You'll realize everything is an omen to understanding your life. You feel me? And so I would see that, okay, well, like, literally that's how people are moving. This is a calculating game. Like, this is how people do things, you know. Now, obviously, there are opportunists, more so like Mustard and Star, but then there are people who are just like being smart about things and calculating, you feel me? And I don't know, just moving in ways that is going to benefit them or whatever, you know? So, you know, but as a friend, you know, it made me feel the type of way, because, like, girl, like, there should be, you know, we would come up with like some fire ass like melodies. Well, I would come up with some things, and, you know, and then there was this one time, this girl literally was like, she wanted to do the song, but she was like, wanted to take the lyrics. She wanted to take the lyrics. It was something very, very, very off and very, very weird. You feel me? Like, I don't know. There's another thing that happened too. It's very faint in my mind, because, like, I try to, like, let go of things, because, you know, even though there's things that I do not let go of, which is so hypocritical for me to say, like, for me to say I let go of things, because there's so much I've held on to. But certain things I try not to, like, think about, because I'm obviously, because of the things that I've gone through in my life, and I wasn't really able to, you know, execute myself in a musician, in a way that a musician, you know, would a lot, you know what I mean? Especially, like, investing that time in studio time and you know. So, you know, I don't know. There was this things I just kind of let slide, but, you know, there was something that she did, and I cannot remember, and I hate that for me right now. But it was very weird. It was like she was trying to take my lyrics and still do a song from it. You know what I mean? And but I feel like it wasn't exactly that. I don't know. It was something else though, because it wasn't exactly like taking my lyrics and not wanting me to do the song per se. It was like something else. I can't remember, but it was just very weird. And we had a whole, like, this was like one of our first, like, arguments, basically. Like, what do you mean? You know, and I hate this for myself that I can't remember it, but this did happen, because we did go through a couple of things over the course of our relationship. So, you know, over time, you know, I'm just realizing there's, like, little things that she would do that I just don't sit well with, you know. And it's so crazy, because I really opened myself up to this individual, and opened my home. You know, I did a lot for her, and not even trying to go through the specifics of things, but like I said, there's so much I want to talk about, and because I want to cut this video short. I want it to be I don't want it to be super long, but I'm going to touch more about this in another video. But I did a lot for this individual, and just to sum this all up, it's like, you realize that, you know, the things that you do for people, and it never amounts to anything sometimes in the ways that they treat you. You feel me? And, like, it's just so unfortunate that we as a people are so focused on things outside of ourselves that we don't even realize how damaging we are to our own relationships, our intimate relationships. There's so much I want to talk about, and, you know, there's a lot of things that's hindering me from, like, going into this right now. But maybe I can come back to it.
I'm crying laughing in my head, because I literally said I'm gonna cut this video short because I'm hungry. Let me put this video up here. The lighting's way better. I'm supposed to be looking at them like this. No, I know I told this either. But hold on. That's cute though. Let me finish eating my food. I'm cute. My lipstick's fucking messed up.
Cute little interlude. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. That's so funny. But no, I actually really do want to like just kind of, you know, briefly try to finish, essentially, just because I don't like to go back. You know what I mean? And you know, this is something that I deal with. You know, like my peers and my relationships with women. So I'm pretty sure it's something I'm going to talk about again. But yeah, her specifically though, I really, you know, I fall in love platonically with people, and I just connect with her so well, and I really felt that we were gonna be friends for life, you know. So it's just crazy that the things transpired, and I started to pick up on all the different energies that she was truly sending me, you know. After you know, seeing the way she handled that situation with the songs. You know, I started, there's starting to be like little pings of red flags that I would just kind of like pick up on, but I was just still, I was in you know, I lost my mother, February 15, 2021. So, you know, I'm just in a vulnerable state a lot of times, you know what I mean? I'm not even though I come across as like very big and rah-rah, you know, I do have that bit energy about myself. I'm not gonna hold you because my anger is really serious, you know, working on that one. But I'm really in a state of softness and just warmth, and just because shit, I hurt a lot. Like I'm continuously in a lot of pain sometimes, you know, and I don't call that to myself. Amen, Lord. You know, I ask for my pain to be replaced, but it's just something that I know that I have to deal with for the rest of my life, essentially. So anyway, you know, like, even though there were like little things that I start to pick up on, you know, I wouldn't hold them against her, essentially, just because I'm always in a state of learning too. Now, she was also, like I said, you know, we reflect the same type of patterns. You know, I'm a water sign as well, and I feel like in certain communities, I've been kind of outcasted and blacklisted. In my DeKalb community, I felt that way. And my Gwinnett community, I kind of felt that way. So I'm looking at myself like, what is it about me that I'm doing to truly put myself in these spaces or experience these type of energies from people and shit like that? And I'm learning, trying to see from what I learned from her and how she affects me. And then, you know, she's been, you know, what has been known, and it's an attachment to her is her going through a lot of things when it comes to like financial help. She needs help and different things like that. And like I stated in the last video, the last 7 years of my life, I've been struggling with stability and just, you know, having my shit together, low key, like in just so many words. You know, I'll have this, and then something is happening with this. Then I'll get that, and then something happens with that. Then da 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 and da 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 and da. You know, so it's like, I'm insane, but like, it's crazy. So people be like, yo, you still gotta, but see, we're not gonna get into that because that's a whole nother thing. You feel me? It's gonna be my next video. But anyway, she's just been in spaces where, you know, she's been going through a lot, you know, financially, you know. There was even a time basically where she needed a place to stay, you know. You know, because I don't really want to talk about people's personal lives, essentially. I just want to talk about how certain things affected me, you know what I mean? But basically, there was just a space where she ended up living with me, okay? And, you know, because she needed that. And, you know, it's crazy because, like, I've gone through so many times where I was in spaces where I needed a place to stay. And my friends you know, there would be times where I felt like I exhausted my options, or even not even if I exhausted my options, sometimes people just really wouldn't allow, you know what I mean? Just because everybody's entitled to their space. And it wasn't until, that's why I look at everything in a universal standpoint, because I'm like, you know, is this my, not karma, but is this my way of like truly understanding what it was like to be the other person in the shoes? You get what I'm saying? You know, and like, that's why I always used to have this dream of like wanting to talk to, like, do a sit down with all of my old peers and all of my old friends, and just sit down and really talk about like what it was about me to push us to the places that we are right now. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them are still connected, you know, and I don't think that, you know, we can still have cordial, but like, why did we remain friends? But at the same time, though, I know my life is different, and everybody's life is different, and whatever. But I just, my heart is just so deep, you guys. It just feels so much. And even when there's times when I'm supposed to move on, and God wants me to transgress, you know, like to, you know, transform into different spaces and new energies, my heart has a hard time with certain things sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I still very much have love for a lot of people that are not technically in my life, you feel me? But anyway, so basically, you know, there were times, because, you know, my girlfriend at the time, we, you know, we would it was like kind of like our own home in a sense, you feel me? Like, we were low-key living together, even though she didn't really officially live with me. She did live with me low-key, you know what I mean? Like, we spent almost every day, well, not every day, but like, you know, every night together, essentially. So like, so there were times where, you know, and then, you know, Star, she was going through, you know, her own depression, and just really, she was going through a situation with her on her own personal life, and, you know, she was really just not okay in her romantic life. She wasn't okay, and I feel like I was very present within all of these experiences that she's gone through. Like, I mean, like, literally what I was going to explain, there were times where my girlfriend would be upset with me because she felt like my energy was so into to my friend that we had something going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how like shit went down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just so present, and it's just so crazy to now be in the spaces where, you know, I'm in, you know, essentially the spaces that she was in. You know, I've you know, I'm coming out of that. Yeah, but I was, you know, in real dark places, and it's like, we're nowhere to be found, you know. And I try to understand, like, how do we allow these things to happen to us in our lives? Like, how do we allow these people to be this close to us, or play this part in our lives, for them to just be something completely different? Yet alone, speaking of my fucking ex, but, you know, like I said, I really want this to be, you know, like I said, I just want to speak about my life and speak about my experiences, and hopefully gain feedback, and you guys can help me reason, you know, if I seem off, or like, what about me is wrong? Like, you know, I'm just speaking, you dig? But it's just crazy, because I was just so present. This girl, literally, there was a time, which was very recent, actually, this is up into the ending of our friendship. This girl called me and was like, she was cramping. You know, I do a lot sometimes. She was cramping, and she just needed some food, or something like that. She just needed, you know, like some food and some medicine, blah blah, or something. She needed something, you know. So my ass, literally, I had plans to, like, went to go get me some food, right? And I was so eager to get home. One of my favorite things ever is to just go and like get me some good ass food and come to my home and watch like one of my favorite movies or a show, or like just be in my own space. Like, that is like heaven to me. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, that's like one of the best feelings ever. It's just and then have my little blunt right there after finish eating, and I smoke and I watch my heaven. Love it. So I was about to do that. I was about to enter into my fucking heaven, yo. She calls me, and I'm like, okay, how can I help? You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me bring her some food. So, because she, this is like, she needs the help, whatever. So instead of just doing the simple, just going to just bring her some fucking food, my ass like, let's try to, since I enjoy this heaven, let me try to make heaven for her, right? So I go home, I grab my fucking wine, I grab, after I get her food, I grab my fucking Roku TV, my TV, because she's having a TV, she watches stuff on her laptop or whatever. Because this is after she moved out of my house, and this is like later, whatever. But so I grab my fucking Roku TV thing, and I take all of that to her house, and I had to I can't park next to the thing, so I had to carry everything. This is the allotness that I did. And I know people are like, well, why do you bring this up if I just try to paint a picture of, because I'm gonna explain the reason why we're not friends anymore. And I know people are gonna be like, what the fuck? But I want you to understand why it hurt so bad that the bare minimum wasn't even given for me, and I just do. When I tell you I had to carry the Roku, you know what I'm saying? Not even unload. I couldn't even unload and then take the car back up. I had to carry the shit. So I literally carried the shit. I was I got her the food and played her favorite movie, which is Hairspray. I didn't want to see fucking Hairspray. I feel and you know what? Because I don't give a fuck about the judgment. I'm just going to speak. Like I said, this is something that I want to just be able to speak. You know what I mean? But people don't understand the way that you love people. You know what I mean? When you love people, you sacrifice your own enjoyment. I just told you how excited I was for my ass to get in my house while I just got my food. You know what I'm saying? So I had to wait all this time. I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. I'm fucking hungry all this time as I'm carrying the thing to her thing, doing the fucking most just so she can enjoy a space of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Got her, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hungry. I don't eat until everything's set up, the movie's playing, bruh. That's who I am. That's who Moreniké is. And that's how I act. That's how I move with people, bro. Especially when I have. That's how I move, right? So I do all of that, for her to be able to enjoy the movie. Because I was saying, she wanted to watch Hairspray, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to watch Hairspray. I've seen that movie 1,000 times, but that's her favorite movie, and I knew that would make her feel good in the moment because she was really sad and da-da-da-da. So it's just the way that I love and care for people. I just sometimes wish the minimal was bestowed upon to me, and I'm not going to say that she was just horrible. There's times where she, she gifted me, she will think of me when she goes to the thrift store. There's this dress I wear all the time. I literally love this dress she gave to me. On Christmas, she gave me a crystal, I think it's a train crystal in this necklace, whatever. Just little things that still mean to me, we share a lot of love, you know what I mean? And, I feel like there were a lot of times when we get into our arguments or things like that, I will say that something that I have to work on is the way that I say things to people. I may feel very, very strong about something, but there's always a better way for me to deliver a message. And, even with Mustard, I feel like, a lot of people who I fuck with have had that to say about me. You know what I mean? I think, but I also feel like I just have an authoritative tone to myself. I'm older, even though I kiki and I'm good with everybody and I'm a very youthful spirit, I'm pushing 20, I'm about to be 30, you feel me? I'm gonna be 29 in October 27th of 2022. I'm gonna be 29 years old. So old girl is 24 or 23 or whatever, Star and Mustard, they're in the 24 and less range, so it's but I don't give them, I don't think people are there just their age. Now, essentially, with certain experiences comes certain, you know what I'm saying, awareness, but, okay, what is 5 years more than, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold that against people. I try to see us at level, you feel me? So it's but at the same time, you can't you know, I would just hope that people who connect with me would love me enough to know me in spaces that everything that I say comes from my heart and not a place of malice. You feel me? And even if I'm saying something that you don't sit well with, why not try to understand why it is that I'm saying what I'm saying? And if I'm completely wrong, then you can correct me, because I am willing to be corrected. I am able to take accountability. I am able to be like, okay, I see how, you know, that was off of me to do, or da 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 da. There was a time where literally, now that's what I'm saying, you guys tell me, am I crazy? But now all these things are collecting in my mind. I'm realizing like maybe this person really isn't my friend. You feel me? Because, you know, it's so sad that you go through these spaces to realize, you know what I'm saying? It's so sad that we as empaths and people who are so with the big hearts and people who are so just wanting to feel, you know, and I try to look at things in a psychological standpoint, like, you know, why am I always doing the most for people? Why am I always doing the most for people when I know that they're not doing the bare minimum for me? And I look at it in a psychological standpoint. I'm like, it feels like, you know, this is something that you wish that you could do or somebody would do for you. So that's why you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've really looked at myself, you know, but, there was this time we were meeting up with some people at the studio. You feel me? Like, she told me about this place, like this little meeting at the studio or whatever, 5 Studio in Ybor. When we were meeting with another mutual of us, and there's some people I didn't really know. So we're at the studio, we're having a good time. There's like a beat that starts playing, right? And then I start freestyling. Now, I don't know what you guys feel like about like social etiquette or like girl code, or like, you know, or I don't know if this is adolescent for me to say, but at the same time, it just feels, you know, certain things rub me the wrong way. And I know it's because of the traumatization or whatever, the traumatizing experiences I had with my peers growing up. You feel me? But anything that a woman does that feels very off, when it feels off in my, like that makes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we're at the studio and there's a beat starts playing and I start freestyling or whatever. I'm freestyling, you know, I know when I sound bad, because there are times where I'm like, yikes, you know, like really like, yikes, you feel me? There's times where I'll be looking at my own content that I've put out and I'm like, bitch, why didn't you just do that a little better? But I'll be so like ready to move on. I just, you know, so, but I'm telling you, I'm aware, guys. I'm always aware. I'm always fucking aware, okay? Just always know that about me. So I'm always aware when I'm like, okay, I sound kind of fire too. This girl gonna say, and instead of when everybody else was like, okay, and I don't ever, and also let me back up a little bit and give you a disclosure. Like I stated that I have social anxiety. So me even getting in spaces where, because I want to talk about that too, my journey in developing me as an artist and who I am and where I am now. So instead of her being like, okay, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you know how hard it is for me even to like speak sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you know that. So I would think that you would have more awareness and have more, just be more present in your action. This girl, instead of, she says, Moreniké, nobody says fly anymore. Because I said something like, oh, I'm so fly or some shit like that. I said something like that. I'm just rhyming. I'm not literally making a hit single. We're not creating a hit single, star. What's wrong with me saying like, what? But she says that in front of everybody. Now, if y'all ever have been in situations where people like do weird ass shit in front of people to kind of belittle you and make you know what that shit feels like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what's good, yo? Why are you doing that, friend? Sister? Sis? What's going on? That's weird. Like, weird, you know what I mean? Like, what? I don't understand. Why did you do that? Why did you say that? what do you mean? What's wrong with me? Like, nobody says fly anymore. Like, so now I'm just starting to realize, like, maybe this person isn't really my friend. I'm realizing, like, it's a tooth and a nail for her to repost my own content. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, and then if I talk about it, it's like, Moreniké, like, you know what I mean? Like, just bullshit excuses. And I'm just like, how do I end up in these situations with these girls? Why do I end up being involved with people and treating them like real people and real friends, and they don't do the same to me? What happens? And I have to look at myself. Because I'm like, I've allowed this. So, because, little things will still come to me. Just real shit. But let me tell you, the reason why we are no longer friends now, even to think about the statement that this girl said to me, it's so crazy to me. It's one of the shit that it's something that makes you want to be violent and physical. Like, I've seen very violent images, but I'm not about that life. I'm too beautiful to exude. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't exude that energy, because that does come out sometimes, and I am gonna hold you. But I'm not about that life. We're not doing that shit. We're not doing none of that nasty ass, ugly ass, what they want the women to do. You know what I'm saying? And no, we're gonna be some queens, some lionesses, lying down, in the cave, sexy as fuck. We might have our issues, but look, just don't fuck with me, blah, blah. We're not about to be brawling and doing all that weird ass shit for the hyenas to, like, laugh. I'm so crazy. But I'm just smarter, you feel me? I'm not about to... But I will say, like, the shit that, just because when you love somebody, the way that they can cause you so much pain is just really crazy. It's so insane. But let me tell you, so... Fast forward, that last year I was that help for her, and I was one of the only ones to show up for her listening party and different things like that. Just truly, I feel like very present in her relationship. When I had money given her every time I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's me, I got the food, blah, 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 you feel me? So now tables have turned in spaces where, I'm in a lot of trouble financially. I'm really going through some spaces with my home, really trying to get out of a really financial hole that I've been in, you know what I'm saying, due to me not being able to work for 3 months. So, I wasn't able to basically, I work also full-time for Uber too. Like I was working a job, and then I was also working Uber. So part-time essentially, I guess. But I say full-time because I'm constantly working. That was like my hands-on money, how I was paying for a lot of my shit. So anyway, I wasn't able to work. Drive my car actually. I wasn't able to drive my car actually for 3 months, and that really put me in a hole for my whole life, for a lot of my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just really just made shit hard for me. So, I was in a space where for the 3 to 4 months, I was just at home, essentially. You did? And I was going through, because I was so, not able to do anything to really help myself out of my situation, but call around and I was in a really frustrated state, which brought back all my frustrations that I feel in life that basically triggered me into spaces of depression and sadness and despair, and I was just really going through it. And I also had broke up with my girlfriend at the time too. So, it was just a lot. Like, everything was just such a lot. My heart was just a lot. And I kind of felt like, things had started to pick up a little bit for her, and she was not present she wasn't present. I started to feel like, I wouldn't see her, she wouldn't call to even check up on me or anything like that. Like, it was just like she wasn't present, you feel me? And so, now, when she used to live here, she used to keep some of her stuff here. And she bought this karaoke machine that she used to keep. It was in my room for probably, because she stayed for like maybe like, I'll say maybe like a month or two. You know what I'm saying? And then when she left, because, you know, obviously it started to get to where she couldn't stay. And I'm not going through all of that, you know, but there was just a lot of shit that happened even with her staying, and just, I felt like inconsiderate. Like, it was just, you know what I mean? But so that's why I was like, but I also didn't want to judge her from that, because I hope that I was never a certain person to the people in my life. And if I was, this is my karma for that. You know what I mean? But anyway, so, you know, but basically there was this karaoke machine that we literally had, and it was stayed at my house for the duration of her being here. And then even after, you know, when I was driving, you know, Uber, I didn't really have time to do anything really else but to try to make money, you know what I'm saying? Especially because that was like my main source of income, with me doing like little jobs here and there, and shit like that. So I didn't really was in space to really focus on doing things within my craft. So that's why I feel like God is such an artistic God, because in that time and space, as frustrated I was because I was immobile and not able to move out, and boy, I tell you, I was fucking mad. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. One of my worst things is like not being able to be like freedom. If that's cut off in any way, oh my God. But yeah, so I was really going through it. But at the same time, when I was able to open my eyes and truly see, there was a lot of things I was able to take care of when regarding to Prosby, which is my styling brand and my fashion brand, and just my own personal content and just me getting things done, you know. So, you know, I had wanted to do something that was going to use the karaoke machine. So mind you, excuse me, it was at the house for like, you know, a month or two, maybe 3 months. And then, you know, she picked it up when she started to get the rest of her stuff out of the house. And, you know, mind you, also, this girl was, you know, she was acting like, you know, when I first got, because I still worked a job, and, you know, I had to still get to my job. She was acting like she would be willing to help me get to work, and, you know, just basically, you know, like, just, you know, people just say these things, and yeah, I don't know, but whatever. It just wasn't what it was. But it's like, after all you've already promised, right, and haven't really even been able to own up to, I literally asked this girl if I can borrow the karaoke machine, because I'm trying to do something regarding my artistry. You know, somebody, you would think, now you heard just one of the experiences, and I'm not talking about the different times where I feel like I've gone, you know, above and beyond, you know, for this girl, but that was just one of the times. You heard me talk about that, right? You would think somebody, so basically this girl is literally, I had to ask for this karaoke machine more than one occasion. The first time it was an excuse like, oh, it's at my mom's house, I won't be able to come and get it, da-da-da. Mind you, also, she moved into a place that was 5 minutes away from me, you guys. 5 minutes away from me, you guys. 5 minutes away from me. I kid you not. The GPS, I typed it in, it's 5 minutes away from me. It was down the street, okay? But the mom's house was like 7 minutes away. So she felt like she would have to go to the mom's house and da-da-da. And this is when the gas was like $5. And, you know, so I'm just like, okay, it's like, I can understand the excuses, but it's like, damn, it's really crazy that I have to beg for something so small from a friend that I used to let stay at my house. That's really wild to me. It's so wild to me. Then this girl says that, you know, she says she gives me another excuse at another occasion. You know what I'm saying? At another occasion. So then a third time, like the next week goes by, and like, I asked her about the karaoke machine, and she's like, yeah, I just don't want to lend it out. You hear that? That clock? The silence? The tick? Because, like, that's how everything went in my brain. She said, I don't want to... Wait, hold on, wait. So after I've been asking you, and at first it was this thing, it was that, and look, I just seen the time, it said 11:11 on this video. You said you don't want to lend it out, the karaoke machine. Am I wrong for being upset? my fellow companions. I'm gonna call people who fuck with me my renegades. You feel me? Moreniké renegades. You dig? Listen, my rebels, my renegades, anybody who fucks with me. Am I wrong for being upset? Am I wrong? No, but for real though, I at that point, you know, every little thing that came, like everything that I experienced within the friendship just kind of came out in that moment. And I just said, like, you're a disgusting friend. You're a disgusting person, you know. And I proceeded to do some ugly shit and like go on the internet and like kind of try to blast her. Ew. Like, you know, I did that with my ex as well. Like I get really angry. Like that's my anger. You know what I'm saying? I get really angry and I like, whoo, baby, I go in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like after, but that doesn't help anything. And if anything, it just shows, you know, how ugly I can be essentially. And I don't like to showcase those parts because I can be pretty ugly sometimes, you know, like I can really, like, I can say some truthful ass shit, but in a way where it'll really sting, you know what I'm saying? And like, that was so uncalled for. And I repented from those ways and stuff like that. But just to be in these spaces to acknowledge that, wow, like this was somebody that I really loved, and this is at the end of the day, and I've been going through my whole depression and all this shit, and the bare minimum of allowing me to use something, and she was about to embark on it, like she was about to leave, you know what I mean? She was about to leave for some months to go to another state, and she couldn't even allow me. She didn't want me to, don't want to lend it out, you know. I later find out that, you know, because I didn't say, I haven't spoken to her. This was like earlier, let's see, maybe like March or something, March, April, May, maybe. And then her birthday's in July. So I said, you know, like, you know, happy birthday to her, but I also touched on the fact that, like, I just can't believe all this time has gone by and you feel no remorse, you know what I'm saying? You feel no remorse in her action, and because of her pride, or maybe because she's young, this girl said that she did not want to be my friend anymore. And so I look at things like, because, you know, it's like, She said she was moving in those ways because I didn't realize. She said if she was drunk, I think, because she was like, I realized, like, I didn't want to be your friend anymore. Like, this is what she said to me, and I was very taken aback because, first and foremost, for you to even say something like that to somebody like me, you know what I mean? Like, some people are evil and would and look at that and be like, that's really funny, or. Cause like but if somebody has a soul and a heart, and like let's be there for a second. Let's be present for a second, regardless of what that may sound like. Cause even I kind of chuckled because like that's kind of funny. Like, how do you really say that to someone? Like, you're really wild to say that to somebody, but like that's crazy. But really thinking about, you know, and you guys of course were not a chip on my shoulder to see the friend that I was to this individual. But I hope that you can kind of get a basis for what I explained. And even in the beginning, when I told you how weird it was that Mustard said what she said, and how all these people, and I wanted to be her friend regardless of all this shit. And she's talking about, you know, because also I feel like if people are really big on clout and, you know, and your level of stature within the community, and my level of stature has gone down. She used to kind of like say this thing. She's like, oh, this is how I know. Like, she was like, everybody's so hype about you today. When I first came here, because I did receive so much love and admiration and feel from a lot of people. And then, you know, people realize that I'm an individual. Like, I'm just like, it's like people like to idolize you, or not even idolize, but they put this like, I don't know, image of you before they even realize that you're a human fucking being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how they do it to celebrities, but even because of the way I carry myself, right? The way I carry myself, and I'm not of my situation. I never will be. You feel me? Even the way I look, you can't tell that I'm going through what I'm going through right now. You dig? Don't nobody know what I'm going through. You can't tell because I'm a goddess, and none of this matrix shit ever, you know, determines who I am. You dig? And it doesn't. But yet, we are sometimes made to feel insecure and things like that because you need to be of substance in this matrix, if that makes sense. And when you're constantly trying and fighting, because they know how powerful you are, but whatever. So it's just like, basically it's just like, I was going through so much mentally, you feel me? And going through so much, within my experience. But yeah, basically she used to say, like, everybody fucks with you, they fucks with you right now and da-da-da, but your hype is going to go die down. And she used to just kind of manifest that, like, your hype is going to go down, da-da-da, and things like that. And I'm just like, I'm not even really worried about that, da-da-da. So it's like, it feels, even from like a collective of people, it felt like people, when they see that, I'm someone that goes through different things, and I'm transparent enough to express that, there are times where I have nobody to ask, so I'll ask the internet if they could help me, shit has been really, really hard for me. Shit has been really, really bad for me at times. So, sometimes you have to pride sometimes, it's sad to say, you got to let go of that shit. Because, if you're not willing to go to certain routes to go ahead and take care of certain things, then you gotta do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, certain situations, whatever. But, so it's like my level of stature kind of went down. It's almost like she doesn't want to be bothered with it. But like, what the fuck happened to me being a whole friend to you? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck happened to me being a real fucking friend to you, yo? That's really crazy to me that you have the audacity to fix your lips to say something like that to Moreniké, to somebody who was like that. And I know that God is going to take care of everybody in their own spaces, but I don't wish any bad on anybody. But it's just, what I just hope is like that people, just like I've had to come into terms with certain things and take accountability for who I am and where my life is and how I've been a part and why my life is the way that it is and things like that. I just pray that God does that for others as well, because it's really crazy out here. It really truly is, you know what I mean? And even just with speaking with other friends that I have and things like that, and us relating our stories and just hearing how individuals really treat you out here. This world is really getting, and like, to be honest, everything that I talk about ties back to mental health. Like, this is all a fucking mental health. Me speaking is a part of me expressing, like, the things that I think about and feel, because I'm just like, it's really wild out here how people move and they don't even care, because at the end of the day, everybody's chasing validation. Everyone is chasing validation. And y'all gotta forgive me, because I know my thighs are mad. I got thunder fucking thighs, and I know my thighs was looking real, thick and big and juicy this whole video. So but yeah, like, it's just, everybody's chasing validation, and nobody's realizing that throughout them chasing validation, that they're treating the people who love them most like shit, and they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you not care that you said these words to me? Like, how could you even say it? It's so crazy. Like, certain things that I've recently experienced within my experiences, it's like, I can't believe, like, people will say these things to me, like. And so then also, let me talk about the parts of myself that actually reflect and like hear that statement, like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. And I think about me as a friend, and I'm like, okay, she's younger, and she might be very like loud and boisterous at times, when I can be that way too. I reflect that, but there are times where I'm a little bit more reserved, and like when I go out and drink, I'm not as I'm self-conscious, and and I have anxiety, just because I just don't, you know what I mean? I'm getting over that, because obviously me as a creative, and it's like, it's weird. Like I say, anybody who sees me, they see that I am all things, I am many things. I have so many parts about myself, as confident as I am, and how able and clear and concise I can speak and things like that. There are times where like I do stutter and I strip over my words, and I have anxiety. Like, I'm just all existent, part of this existence. You feel me? So it's like, as a creative, and she wanting to be the it girl or whatever the fuck, like, I'm thinking like, everybody deserves to have friends that align to them, so this is how beautiful, let me calm down. But this is how beautiful that I am, right? I try to even reason with a fucking statement like that. A motherfucking statement like that. I even try to reason with that shit, dog. I try to be like, okay, let me try to understand, like, okay, she didn't want to be friends with me anymore. Like, what about me? You know, can I see why she don't want to be friends with me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like literally trying to think, go down the rundown of things. But then I'm also like, when somebody loves you, they love you and they don't expect you to be something that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have friends for every part, like, of energies. Like, I'll have you for, you know, for that turn up energy, but you're the person I'm going to really, really talk to and stuff like that. We can all turn up together and we can still all talk, but I just, you know, I'm not going to not love you as much just because I know you don't turn up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to not love you as much because I know you're not as deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I mean? You get what I fucking mean, bro? Like, so it's like, I couldn't even find true reason to that, because it's like, okay, I have been displaying a little bit more depressive energies lately because, you know, and I'm still, this whole time, mind you, this whole experience, I'm still healing the death of my mother. That's something, like, people think that just because I still post my content and I still can smile and look cute and that I don't deal with the biggest pain of my life every single moment of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really hard. It truly is so hard. But I'm still out here because I know that I will be damned. And I'm not going to get emotional now, you know what I mean? But I'll be damned if I'm not my mother's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, I'll be damned to have sacrificed all that life for me to be nothing. For me to have to be nothing. So I have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I have to keep going. But it's just crazy to me that people can know all the pains that you go through and, you know, and still basically say the things that they say to you and treat you the way that they treat you. You feel me? It's real crazy. And I sometimes I have to really look to see, like, what am I truly to people for them to feel like they could even say that, like, I don't want to be judgmental, but it's like, low key, you should even be scared to say some shit like that to me, though. You feel me? Like you should never even, but see, when people don't really fuck with you, they don't, like, you never loved me. You've always had a angst about me. You've always had some type of minor annoyance with me or hatred, because that is what gives you the fuel to say that. Because look, she has two other friends, right? You know, I'm gonna call him Bear and Honey. Oh, I don't know if that's her name. But that's just so cool because I literally just thought about that. But that's kind of cool. Universe is wild. But anyway, but Bear and Bee, let's call her Bees. And so Bears and Bees are like, she literally will, like, kiss the ground that they walk on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because those are her two oldest friends and who have always been there when everybody else kind of like outcasted her or stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, she used to consider me in those spaces. So how could, like, why are you in spaces to where you don't respect me enough to where, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would never talk to Bear or Bee the way that you just talked to me, just how you just said that to me. You feel me? You would never do that to them because you care too much about losing that relationship. See, I realized she didn't care about losing her relationship with me when she realized I have nothing to offer. First and foremost, now I'm broke and I'm down and out. I don't have nothing to offer her financially. I don't have anything to offer her physically. You feel me? You know, I'm emotional and I'm depressive, so I'm not really, you know, I'm not offering her any fun too much, because when we go out, yes, we're still gonna have a good time, but I'm not trying to be the it girl, and I'm not boy crazy. I'm not trying to look like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to just take a drink. You feel me? Are we trying to drink or what? You dig? I'm trying to drink, maybe kiki, haha. I'm not trying to be You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm better now. You feel me? But during those times I wasn't. So it's like, so she's like, okay, well, she's not doing that. And then now I don't have the clout that she wanted to be attached to, because, you know, now that I broke up with my ex, and because of the way that I handled the situation when we first broke up, I got all her peers on spaces where they don't fuck with me. They're all bullying me in certain spaces, you know, and being weird, you know what I mean? Basically making me out to be this hating ass girl that a lot of people have made me out to be. And it's really just so psycho, because that's never my intention, you feel me? But I always have to look at self, because obviously if you're continuously in certain spaces, you have to look at self. My next video is going to be accountability, just to give you some forewarn, because I want to talk about certain things, and I want to really be like, you know, but anyway, this video is mad long. And I tried to not intend it to be this way, but it's just really crazy. I'm just to sum this up, it's just really crazy, you know, how people do you. You dig, you know, it's really crazy. I was gonna say dog, like, it's crazy, you dig? Like, it's crazy, bruh. It's crazy, but you know, I wanted to express this in just this one situation, you know, and if you guys have any feedback or have any questions, or like, you know, if you want me to elaborate more on this particular situation I kind of briefly expressed, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I kind of was very vague about every single situation, you know what I'm saying? Maybe get some more insight to like what you know, may feel towards me essentially in the situation. Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear some feedback on this particular expression, because man, oh man, it's really crazy, bro. And like, it's just really crazy, because how, you know, like fucking how, like how did it become this way? But yeah, you guys, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like, I really do. And I know maybe this wasn't as organized as my other videos, you know, and very on one subject. It kind of maybe felt a little bit all over the place. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, if you do follow me, you'll realize that, you know, I go on tangents about things, and I like to express the depths of things. So, but yeah, make sure you like the video, you leave a comment, you subscribe, and yeah, I will see you next time.